This series of Pilates movements aims to mobilise the joints, particularly the neck, the shoulders, the hips and the ankles. It also works on strengthening some of the weakened muscles and the muscles under strain from sitting for long periods of time. So the first movement I'm going to show you is the roll down. Great movement for articulation of the spine, for abdominal strength, and also releasing tension from your neck, shoulders and between each vertebra. So I'm going to start with our Pilates setup. Check that you have neutral spine, engage the abdominals. Let's start by lowering the chin towards the chest. Really working keeping that navel towards the spine and tucking the tailbone in. Round the shoulders and let those arms hang nice and heavy as you roll the spine down towards the mat. Just keep that tailbone tucked in. Open out the vertebra. And keep rolling to wherever you get to, your knees, your shins. If you can get all the way down, if you have that flexibility in your hamstrings, come all the way down to the mat. From here, inhale. And as you exhale, rebuild that spine. Really working and keeping the navel back towards the spine the whole way up. Use your abdominals to bring that body right up to standing again. And the last thing we release when we come up to the top is the shoulders and placing the head on top of the spine. Okay, so the next movement is double leg stretch. Excellent movement for shoulder mobility, abdominal and core strength, and also pelvic and scapular stability. So we're going to start lying on the mat. Knees and hips are flexed, arms by your side, hands, palms facing the mat. Nice long spine, eye gaze up towards the ceiling. From here, engage the abdominals, and then start by bringing the fingertips up towards the ceiling and circling the arms away from the body. Keeping that nice neutral pelvis on the mat. And continue like this for level 1. Exhaling as you circle away and inhaling as you return to center. Level 2, to add more core engagement, we lift one leg to tabletop and continue that movement. And switching on the other side. And level 3, we're going to bring the 2 legs up to tabletop. Same movement, nice circling of the arms. Much more core engagement, much more abs working here to keep that nice stable pelvis. The pelvic curl. Same setup as the double leg stretch, except bring the heels a little bit closer to the glutes this time. Great movement here for spinal articulation, core engagement, and nice tension release in the lower back. So let's start with a small pelvic tilt, imprinting the spine. Slowly peel the spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, until you come up into the ski slope position. Lift the thoracic spine a little higher and push the sit bones down to the back of the knees. And from here, inhale, exhale as you lower the spine back down to the mat. Again, working one vertebra at a time as you come down, slow and controlled. The last thing to come down to the mat is the pelvis. Release that pelvic tilt and back to neutral spine. Okay, starting again with the same setup. Lying flat on the mat, palms facing the floor, arms by your side, knees and hips flexed. From here, let's bring the 2 arms out wide of the body, palms facing the ceiling, 2 knees together, and let's slowly bring the 2 knees down to one side. From here, let's bring the hand that's away from the body to come and meet the other palm. And with your breath, just opening out that palm, bringing eye gaze with the hand and returning it back. Then to move on to arm circles, lying on our side, knees, hips are stacked, hands are stacked, shoulders are stacked. We're going to bring the top arm, fingertips, keeping in contact with the ground. We're going to bring the fingertips up overhead. When we reach overhead, let's rotate the palms so the back of the hand stays in contact with the ground. Keep circling away from the body. Nice stretch for the chest. Nice rotation down the spine. And then return the hand back to the other palm. The next movement is box swimming. So starting on all fours, knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders. Nice, strong, stable position. Engage the abdominals, and from here we slide one arm and the opposite leg along the mat and lengthen and reach fingertip away from toe. Lower them back down and slide them back. Really good movement for core pelvic stability, scapular stability. Works the posterior muscles right down your back into your glutes and your hamstrings and calves. All the time we're focused on keeping this pelvis lovely and quiet as we move, okay? So abdominals are working hard to keep that pelvis quiet as you lengthen and return. Cat-cow stretch. Again, starting with the same setup. Tuck the chin to the chest, tilt the pelvis towards you, lift the upper and middle back as high as you can lift. Really feel that stretch between the rib cage and the vertebra. Reverse that movement. Pelvis moves in the other direction, eye gaze comes out in front of you, chest is open. Squeeze the shoulder blades and you feel a nice arch in the lower back. So you inhale up. And exhale into cow. Next movement is a box with a rotation and a chest opener. So we start in this nice strong box position, engage abdominals. From here we reach one arm under the body, through the other arm. And then we rotate back and open that arm out as wide as we can. Rotate under. And back out, open out the chest. Feel a nice rotation in the spine. Eyes wise, T's and W. Starting on your belly, on your front. Eye gaze is facing the mat. Face is about an inch or so off the mat. Legs are lengthened, toes are pointed, legs are engaged. About hip distance apart, arms are up overhead, thumbs facing the ceiling. From here, engage the abdominals, keep the head in line with the spine. And we lift the arms up for 5. And move them into a W. Same thing for 5. Into a T. Squeeze the shoulder blades and lower. 5 of those. And then up overhead again for a W. Lift, squeeze, lengthen and lower for 5. Chest stretch, prone. Starting lying on the mat. Arms are in this eye surrender position, bent elbows. We're going to lengthen out on my right arm here, the arm away from you, keeping the bent elbow here in the left. I'm going to come up onto my fingertips. From here, I'm going to lift that left leg and bring it up behind me. Opening at the hip and really stretching into the right armpit and down into the chest. And then lower. Great movement for spinal rotation and for opening up the chest. Starting lying on the mat, knees and hips flexed, feet flat on the ground. About fist distance apart between the 2 feet, arms by your side, palms facing the mat. Nice long lengthened spine, eye gaze up to the ceiling. From here we inhale to prepare and exhale as you float one leg to tabletop. Engage in those abdominals and we're going to start circling that leg away from the body and back to center. Exhale as you circle away. Inhale as you return to center. Working and keeping the pelvis as quiet as you can as you move that leg. Keeping the 90-degree angle at the knee. And the movement comes from the hip joint. Every time you circle, see, can you get that a little bit further? But keeping the pelvis as quiet as possible. You don't want any movement in the pelvis. So a lot of abdominals working here. We're also mobilizing that hip joint.